Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty wild. We're exploring a set of documents that lay out this incredibly bold new plan for water desalination. And when I say bold, I mean really bold. It's this mix of new tech, energy production, and a business strategy that is just huge. Let's get right into it.
Right off the bat, the thing that just grabs you is this one central claim. The documents say their technology can desalinate seawater for a capital cost that is, get this, 60 times cheaper than the standard designs we use today. 60 times. A number like that immediately makes you stop and go, wait, what? How is that even possible?
And here it is, laid out plain as day. Look at this. On one side, you have the proposed system's initial cost. Its capex at just $350,000. Then, on the other side, the standard tech, $21 million. I mean, it's not even in the same ballpark. So, you gotta ask, what's under the hood here? Let's break down how they say this thing actually works.
All right, so to even begin to understand those cost claims, we have got to look at the technology itself. The source materials walk us through a whole process for taking seawater and, well, turning it into a bunch of different valuable things.
Okay, so they break it down into 4 main steps. Step 1 is pretty standard. You suck in seawater and filter it. Simple enough. But then step 2, this is where it gets interesting. They say a system of special lenses heats the water up to a blistering 300 degrees Celsius, creating a ton of high-pressure steam. Step 3, that steam does 2 jobs. It spins a turbine to make electricity, and then, as it cools down, it condenses into fresh, pure water. And for the final step, the system is supposedly able to pull out green hydrogen and salt. So you're not just getting water, you're getting byproducts too.
Now, here's a really important piece of context. In one of the source videos, they make it clear that what they're describing is based on a prototype. There's this direct quote that says, "This prototype design shows how the operation of the station works." So, okay, that tells us we're looking at a model of how it's supposed to work.
Right. So the big takeaway here is that it's not just a desalination plant. That's key. They're pitching this as a factory that churns out multiple things. For just one of these stations, the plan claims it can make 10,000 cubic meters of fresh water every single day, pump out electricity from a 1 megawatt turbine, and give you green hydrogen and salt on the side. It's a whole package.
The plan also gets into how they'd adapt this for different climates, which makes sense, right? So for sunny places, think the Middle East or Australia, they say they'd use custom-made glass mirrors and lenses to heat the water. Solar power, basically. But for places that the documents call non-sunny countries, say the UK or Canada, they propose something different. A 100 kilowatt graviton generator.
And I know what you're thinking. A what generator? So what is a graviton generator? Well, the documents don't really dive into the science behind it. They just give us a very straightforward functional definition. Quote, "It's used by non-sunny countries for heating the salty seawater." And that's it. That's all the detail we get on that front. Okay, let's get back to the money, because this is where the claims get really, really wild. We're going to compare the numbers they provide for their system right next to the numbers for standard tech. All right, this table pulls it all together. Just look at this. For the initial build cost, the capex, the proposal claims just $350,000. Compare that to standard tech of the same size, you're looking at anywhere from $10 to $25 million. And then look at the yearly running cost, the OPEX. It's the same story, $150,000 for their system versus $2 to $5.5 million. The gap is just enormous. And when you see it as a bar chart, it's wow, it really hits you. That little sliver on the left, that's the proposed $350,000 investment. That giant tower next to it, that's the $21 million they use as a comparison for standard tech. It's not just a difference, it's a completely different scale. Same thing with the annual running costs. The claim is that it only costs $150,000 a year to run one of these things. When you put that against the $3.7 million figure from the same document, I mean, that's a drop of over 95%. It's an incredible claim. Okay, so if you're claiming your tech is that cheap and that revolutionary, you better have a big plan for it, right? Well, they do. The plan doesn't just stop with one machine. It zooms way out to a massive global scale. So they're aiming at 3 different markets. First, and this is the big one, is something they call MIMS food production projects. We'll get into what that means in just a sec. The other 2 are a bit easier to picture. Small tourist beach resorts and, selling fresh water to all the big shipping vessels at ports around the world.
Okay, so let's unpack that MIMS then. It stands for Multiple Industries Modular System. And honestly, this is the heart of their entire global plan. A single MIMS project isn't just a desalination plant, oh no. It's a massive complex. It's a power station, 10 desalination plants, huge greenhouses for food, and even a small city all rolled into one. And the goal? They have a list of 153 coastal countries where they want to build these things. Talk about thinking big.
So what does that translate to in terms of money? Well, according to their own forecast, the MIMS projects are the cash cow, expected to bring in a jaw-dropping $486 billion. The shipping market adds another $16.6 billion, and the beach resorts tack on $12 billion. I mean, the numbers are just astronomical.
And when you put all of that together, you land on this number. The total yearly sales forecast from the business plan is $515 billion per year. That's not just ambitious, that's operating on a whole other level.
So let's just step back and put the pieces together. What we've looked at here is a proposal for a new kind of technology, backed by some of the most dramatic cost-saving claims you can imagine, all wrapped up in a global business plan of almost unbelievable size.
And at the end of the day, it all comes down to their tagline, a bridge to prosperity. That really sums up the whole vision, doesn't it? The idea is to use this supposedly super cheap, multi-product technology to build these enormous projects all over the world, and in the process create a business worth over $500 billion a year.
Which kind of leaves us with one big question, right? We've just walked through the blueprint of this incredibly ambitious plan, from the nuts and bolts of a prototype all the way to a grand vision for the entire planet. And it makes you wonder, what's the real distance between a blueprint and a bridge?
We believe that IGE will be a game changer for the world, sparking an era of prosperity for a better living for all humans on planet Earth.